You're the proof that Maxon's wrong. You're a synth, but everything you've done has been for the good of mankind.
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I'm not technology that's gone out of control. I've been a benefit to mankind, not its downfall. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes, I can consider my next move.
Yeah, there is that little problem to deal with.
Actually, I might have a solution. The only clear choice is for me to leave the Commonwealth. The sooner I make for the border, the sooner I put this behind me. Take my holotags. Use them to prove that your mission was a success, or Maxim will just send someone else to hunt me down. Now, come on. Let's get the hell out of here.
Alright, so we're gonna fake his death. Alright, so ain't no bobbleheads here, nothing else. I was hoping for like a bobblehead or something. That's what I was hoping for, you know what I mean? Military upgrade's good, but I ain't even got enough in my stock here, you know what I mean? Let's get up out of here. So we faked his death. There we go. I didn't want to execute the dude. I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Glad I didn't bring Valentine along. He probably would have liked what I did. You know what I'm saying? But still, like, you know, he would have hated everything I did till I got to this point. You know what I mean? Then he would have loved me again, maybe. Who knows?
How dare you betray the Brotherhood?
It's not his fault. It's mine.
I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed?
He's still alive. Because you're wrong about him.
Him! Danse isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the sanctity of human life and corrupted it beyond measure.
After all I've done for the Brotherhood, all the blood I've spilled in our name, how can you say that about me?
You're the physical embodiment of what we hate most. Technology that's gone too far. Look around you, Danse. Look at the scorched earth and the bones that litter the wasteland. Millions, perhaps even billions, died because science outpaced man's restraint. They called it a new frontier and pushing the envelope, completely disregarding the repercussions. Can't you see the same thing is happening again? You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind.
Danse wants to save mankind, not destroy it.
You're as delusional as you are insubordinate. How can you trust the word of a machine that thinks it's alive? A machine that's had its mind erased, its thoughts programmed, its very soul manufactured. Those ethics that it's striving to champion aren't even its own. They were artificially inserted in an attempt to have it blend into society.
It's true. I was built within the confines of a laboratory, and some of my memories aren't my own. But when I saw my brothers dying at my feet, I felt sorrow. When I defeated an enemy of the Brotherhood, I felt pride. And when I heard your speech about saving the Commonwealth, I felt hope. Don't you understand? I thought I was human, Arthur. From the moment I was taken in by the Brotherhood, I've done absolutely nothing to betray your trust, and I never will.
It's too late for that now. The Institute has foolishly chosen to grant you life. You simply should not exist. I don't intend to debate this any longer. My orders stand.
It's all right. We did our best. You convinced me that I was wrong to be ashamed of my true identity, and I thank you for it. Whatever you decide, know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touching. Either you execute Danse, or I will, Knight. The choice is yours.
After all the sacrifices I've made, and all the battles I've fought for the Brotherhood, you need to listen to me. You owe me that much.
Very well. I'm listening.
Whether he's human or not, Dan saved the lives of countless Brotherhood soldiers. Now it's time you saved his.
You're a stubborn man. So, it appears we've arrived at an impasse. Allowing Danse to live undermines everything the Brotherhood stands for. Yet you insist that he remains alive. Which leaves me with only a single alternative. Danse, as far as I'm concerned, you're dead. You were pursued and slain by this Brotherhood Knight. And your remains were incinerated. From this day forward, you are forbidden to set foot on the Pridwin, or speak to anyone from the Brotherhood of Steel. Should you choose to ignore me, know you'll be fired upon immediately. Do we understand each other?
I do. Thank you for believing in me, Arthur.
Don't mistake my mercy for acceptance. The only reason you're still alive is because of him. I'm returning to the Pridwin, Knight. Take some time. Say your goodbyes. And then I expect to see you there. We still have the Institute to deal with.
I saved this too. I didn't even think I was gonna be able to.
Hi. It took a hell of a lot of guts to stand up to Maxon like that.
Friends take care of each other, no matter what.
That they do. Which is why I've decided to stay here. I didn't plan on spending the rest of my days at this old listening post. But it will have to do. Besides, you're still gonna need my help. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you wander the Commonwealth alone. Now, you better get back to the Pridwin. In the meantime, I'll start making this bunker more livable. If you ever need me, I'll be right here.
What about Halen?
I don't think Maxon knew she was involved, so she'll be safe. I'll contact her and let her know what happened here. It's the least I could do.
Goodbye, Danse.
Farewell. I hope the next time we meet, it will be under happier circumstances.
Woo! It got really real right there, guys. What in the world? Who's shooting at me? What? Are you kidding me? Wow, I get attacked as soon as I jump over here. You know what I mean? Like, what was that? That was some crap. Take some of this. Take some of that. Take some of that. And we're good to go, guys. Oh, and also, quick save. You know how your boy does it. It's going down. Wow, what an interesting scenario, man. I didn't even know how I made it through that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy wanted him dead. You know what I mean? Alright, so we can speak to Maxton. Let's get to it, man. It's going down. Wow. Wow, what an interesting thing, man. Danse was a sim. You know what I mean? The whole time we out here trying to destroy these guys. Well, Maxon let him go, man. I'm happy he did. You know? I'm happy I went through that conversation. That charisma perk really worked out for your boy. You know what I mean? In that moment in time, you know? It was a pretty good moment, you know? I felt a little victory coming out that perk right there, you know?
Reporting is ordered, Elder.
Before we continue, I want to make one thing clear. This conversation will be the last time we speak about Danse. As far as the Brotherhood of Steel is concerned, he's dead. Do you understand?
Understood.
Good. Of course. Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
Where did Danse keep his power armor?
I'm certain you can find it in Proctor Ingram's section of the ship. Wear it with pride. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your next assignment. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Alright. So.
System deltas at 100%. Secondary deltas
Paladin.
standing by.
Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Danse has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat, the Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Why is the Railroad such a threat?
Even with their relatively small numbers, the Railroad is a constant threat to our operations. They've already proven to be resilient against superior forces, with a knack for disappearing when cornered. Worse still, they possess the capability to help synths flee the Institute. If we intend to end the synth menace, we need to plug the leaks. Destroying the Railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Do they all have to die?
Absolutely. It's the only effective way of ensuring that they're no longer a threat. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the Railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on PAM's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the Pridwin. I'm certain we could put PAM's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. We wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Anything useful you can tell me about Pam?
We have very little information on it. Its primary function is supposed to be using mathematical calculations in order to predict future events. I have no idea how successful it was, but if the Railroad's been using Pam for this long, it's got to be providing them with some sort of benefit. I'm sure Proctor Quinlan would be pleased to have it in his possession.
I think that should be sufficient information to assist you on the mission, Paladin. When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support and all the firepower you'll need to take the Railroad down. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Nah, so we gotta kill the Railroad, basically.
Control systems all